Hi, I'm Gene Kelly of Kelly Law Associates, and I'm here to tell you that I can get you off. I can legally get shit. Car accidents, tax evasion, minor genocide, it's all the same to me. Some might look at a man and see a husband who brutally murdered his wife and then kept her body in the trunk of his car for 3 weeks. But I see a man who just didn't know how to play tennis right and accidentally hit his wife with a tennis racket 36 times, and to keep her body warm, put her in the back of his Camry. Public masturbation? More like government exacerbation. I graduated top of my class at the University of Phoenix. Kind of. Just remember, I am the law, and I will get you off. Having a divorce? Your kids don't love you anyway.
What's up, you floatin' turds? Welcome to another special episode of the BDC Show. In case you haven't figured it out by now, every episode of the BDC Show is a special episode. Why is that? I don't know, but they are. It's just special because we are doing this again. Every day above ground is a good day and all that jazz. So the title of last week's episode was a bit misleading, I freely admit that, but don't worry. I ate a red velvet cupcake in honor of my birthday and had a celebratory dinner at the International House of Pancakes. And yes, I have footage of all that. Just calm down, you guys. All the footage will be shown in due time. I spent my birthday in the northeastern part of the country. It started in New York City, and from there I went up to New Hampshire, then back to Pennsylvania. This footage you are seeing here was New Hampshire. That was where I bought my cupcake at. I kept it in my little mini fridge until I was ready to get down on it. But I was holding off on having my dinner until I could find a pancake house. I knew I'd find one soon enough. Breakfast for dinner rules. I don't mind this part of the country in general, but I don't really care for it as a truck driver. Every turn is super tight and every docking back is gnarly. The only real complaint I have is how aggressive the people drive here. Well, you've still got Sam Adams and that wicked Matt Damon. I saw a dead bear on the side of the road in New England. I know it was a bear because I could see its face. I didn't have time to grab my phone and snap a picture because I had never seen a bear outside of a zoo cage before. I was a bit shocked to see it. Later on, when I had stopped for the night, I kept checking out my windows for bears lurking around in the darkness. I have a knife and a tire thumper as my only weapons for defense. Remember that movie where Leonardo DiCaprio was attacked by a bear? If that Hollywood puss boy can survive a bear attack, you can be rest assured that I will too. I'll just hit that fucker with my truck. But I put those thoughts out of my mind and sat down to enjoy my cupcake. Red velvet is totally my jam. And I don't even like sweets. I mean, I'll eat something sweet every once in a while, but for the most part, I don't really fuck with sugar. I don't put it in my coffee, and if I drink anything with a sugar-free or zero sugar variant, that's the drink I choose. White Monsters are my drink of choice right now. I do have to say that this cupcake was top-notch, considering that I bought it at a truck stop. It was still very moist and the frosting wasn't all hard. It was made by a company called Just Desserts or something like that. Bears like sweets. I wonder if one could smell my cupcake. I made a mental note to properly dispose of my garbage, so I don't have any visitors while I'm trying to sleep. But when I did stop in eastern Pennsylvania, I was able to find a truck stop with an International House of Pancakes in the same lot. Fucking mint. Talk about a score. But I was exhausted from all the driving amongst these chowder heads that I just wanted to get some sleep. I would have my birthday dinner the next day. I was a bit skittish about filming in there, but then I remembered that I didn't care. You only live once. YOLO, isn't that what the kids used to say back in the day? Like right before they did something stupid, they'd shout YOLO to let everyone know that Darwin was about to take the wheel. But yeah, I laid down for a couple hours, and then decided to get something real to eat. I can't even remember the last time I sat down to eat something. Usually I'm just grabbing something while I'm getting gas. And I eat it with one hand while holding the steering wheel with the other. I once ate a buffalo chicken wrap while crossing the George Washington Bridge. No bullshit. That's about as gangster as one could ask for. And didn't even spill any. Just tooling over the Hudson River, 70 feet long and 14 feet high. Just doing my thing. That's how you do it. Just keep living, man. Not a care in the world. So after that rude asshole woke me up with his loud conversation, I went over to the pancake house to get my grub on. They had a little gift shop, and when I saw a license plate with my name on it, I knew I was in the right place. They even spelled my name correctly. It wasn't super busy, which was nice. I didn't have to wait too long to get seated. I probably could have been seated immediately, but I requested a booth. If you and I go out to eat and you are given a choice between a booth and a table, and you say, table, I'm just gonna leave. I need lots of room to stretch out. The place itself was clean and the bathrooms were really clean as well. I don't have any complaints whatsoever. The waitress was this goth girl who seemed really overwhelmed, so I took it easy on her. I always tip well anyway. I personally believe that it should be mandatory that everyone has to work for tips at some point in their life, just so they can know what it's like. I'm not an advocate of automatic gratuity, however. Tipping culture has gotten way out of hand. Unless the service is absolutely terrible, I'm tipping over 20% standard. But if I order a pizza and I come there to pick it up, I'm not tipping the counter staff. But I'll always tip waitstaff because they're not being paid a livable wage and the feds are taxing their tips. I rarely carry cash anymore, so I can't really get around that. If you leave a cash tip, the waitress can say whatever they want. But if you write the tip down on the check when paying with a credit or debit card, they have to declare it. Bunch of bullshit if you ask me. The cool thing about this place was they bring you a whole-ass pot of coffee. Yeah, it's a little mini pot, but one person can drink that with no problem, especially if you got a taste for bean-flavored water. Whatever kind of coffee they had was really good. It woke me right up. So in honor of my 46th birthday, I ordered a country fried steak with gravy, hash browns, 2 scrambled eggs, and 4 extra sausage links. I always order extra sausage with breakfast. Bacon gets lots of love, but sausage is the boss if you ask me. And of course, with it being IHOP, they also give you 2 fluffy-ass pancakes. Hell yeah, time to get down. Here you can see me chatting up the waitress. She was working hard for a good tip, and I had just the tip for her. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? No, I'm just kidding. Or am I? Nobody knows. Nobody really knows for sure. I made no effort to hide the camera, but I can't say for sure if she was aware that I was recording this or not. But if you see this and that was you, welcome to the party. You're famous now. All 29 of my subscribers will say that you're the best waitress featured on this channel so far. But the dinner/breakfast was everything that I hoped it would be. It really hit the spot. I could tell that it was going to give me a case of the itis. You know about the itis, right? The itis is when you eat a meal that's so good that you are overwhelmed by the need to sleep afterward. Like being shot with a tranquilizer dart. You loosen your belt and take your shoes off and bam, out of the blue and into the black. Night night, keep your butthole tight. The food was 10 out of 10 though. No complaints on my behalf, that is for sure. In fact, my entire birthday dinner was awesome. It made it memorable. Being out on the road, it really did feel like just any other day. Work never stopped, and it was the same old grind. It felt good to kind of just chill out for a little bit and have some good sit-down food. Usually I'm just grabbing a sandwich or a bowl of fruit out of some truck stop cooler and eating it as I'm trucking down the road. I found out after I paid the bill and walked back to the truck that I would be picking up a load near Scranton and taking it up to Maine. Holy shit. Maine, y'all. Stephen King country. Maine is also the way actor Terrence Howard says man. I went to Maine once on vacation like 10 or 15 years ago, and it was awesome. Now I get to go there on business. Score. So that night we scooted over into Scranton to pick up this load. Let me tell you, I'm glad that I did it during the middle of the night because there were some tight turns involved. I took I-84 to get into New England so I could bypass New York City entirely. These scenes you are looking at were filmed in Worcester, Massachusetts. It's spelled like Worcester, but it's pronounced Worcester. These people up here are so weird. But anyway, we made it back to New England, and it looks like they got the memo about it being fall early. The leaves on the trees are already beginning to turn autumnal colors. The traffic in Worcester was kind of hectic though. I didn't know that Worcester was such a hub of activity. What's going on in Worcester that everyone is out and about? They say that the drivers in Massachusetts drive like complete assholes, or as they call them, massholes. I guess that is no different here in Worcester. I mean, look at this dickhead in the Tesla, just riding in the breakdown lane so they can cut me off. I got through it though, and continued north along Interstate 95, right up the Atlantic coast. I stopped at the New Hampshire Welcome Center so I could take a healthy shit. Shitting in welcome centers is totally my thing, and I missed this one last time I was here. Then it was off into Maine, which has signs that claim that Maine is the way life should be. I don't know if that's true or not, but this place is beautiful. I wonder if Stephen King is home. I want to stop by and ask him why he incorporates baseball into all of his stories somehow. The state line of Maine is actually right in the middle of this bridge you see me crossing over. I'm not sure what river this is, but it looks awesome. I don't even know how to swim, but I felt compelled to go down and get into it. I made it to my drop-off but had problems. I dropped the trailer in the yard and grabbed the only available empty, and the federal inspection had expired back in August. So now I would have to take it somewhere and get it inspected. Before I could continue along my route, a waste of time if you ask me. Fuck man, let's just be honest. The tires work, the lights work, the kingpin works. There is no damage to the walls, ceiling, or floor of the trailer. The only reason I have to waste my afternoon at a mechanic is because someone didn't get paid. Complete bullshit. But after jumping through those hoops, I found out that I'd be picking up in Auburn, Maine and driving down to Westchester, Pennsylvania. That means I would have to go through New York City. There is just no way around it. That fucking sucks, man. But my drive time clock was low, so I had to stop. This dude was sunbathing his feet on the dashboard. Fucking gross. I could almost smell them. So I looked at some maps to see if I could somehow bypass the Big Apple somehow. I usually stick to the GPS map. I asked this family of bears that was posted up outside the rest area, and they didn't know anything. I'm not sure how Dispatch would react to me blazing my own trail, but I'm seriously considering it. They can say what they want. I'm the one out here doing the shit. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, but I still had to do my pickup anyway, so I would worry about that when it came time to. The pickup isn't until late, so maybe I would be able to cut through New York City after dark when traffic wasn't as bad. They do call it the city that never sleeps, but I don't know if that includes the traffic. Fuck it, I'll just roll the dice and see what happens. New York City at night is a total vibe. I personally don't want to stop there for anything, but it's nice to look at. It's a shithole for sure. But when it's all lit up, it looks kinda nice. I've talked about it so much to this point that now I feel like I owe the viewers a shot of it. It's also weird that I'm going to Westchester, the home of Bam Margera, who I disparaged last week. I don't take back anything I said about that washed-up burnout. I'm just saying that it's weird that I mentioned him last week, and bickety bam, here I go right into his hometown. If he wants to fight me for what I said, I'll be there soon. Okay, but before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we still have to do our pickup. When I woke up, I heard all these birds making all kinds of noise. They were seagulls just going ham on these trash cans. A truck came by and scared most of them off. But one stayed down on the ground, while another hung out on top of a light post, keeping an eye out for trouble. I didn't dare go out of the truck because I've seen that Hitchcock movie. I ain't trying to get an eyeball plucked out over some bullshit. Eventually, I was able to do a pre-trip, but when I was walking around the truck and trailer, I kept a close eye on those fuckers. You never know what they are going to do. Remember a few years back when there was a conspiracy that birds weren't real? I'm not even making that up. Go ahead and look it up if you don't believe me. There was some kind of conspiracy that birds were really surveillance devices planted by the government. I never did and still do not believe it, but it was funny. So we started driving and I got to feast my eyes on small-town Maine. It is exactly how Stephen King described it. The people look like mutants from another planet. I saw more people wearing overalls today than I have in the last 10 years. Don't get me wrong, everyone was nice to me, but they were very strange-looking individuals. The shipper was way out in the middle of nowhere. A couple of young guys were working the guard shack, and one used the word wicked as an adjective in his greeting to me. He said I had gotten wicked close to the gate and he thought I was gonna hit it. I was like, nah man, I don't hit stuff. The lot was full, so I had to pull my loaded trailer out, drop it, then reconnect to my empty and put it in the spot I'd pulled the loaded one out of. It was a total pain in the ass, but I did it. The lot was really tight as well, so I had to do all this in a very small space. I went inside to use their bathroom, and I was kind of shocked at the graffiti written on the seat liner dispenser. It doesn't matter. I took a wicked shit in that bitch. I mean, I seriously dominated one. Woe to whoever went in there after me, because I fucked it up. I fucked it up bad. That is, that country fried steak broken down to its base level. but then it was time to start driving south toward Pennsylvania. With a bit of luck, I could make it in one go. I had started late enough that I could probably avoid all the traffic in New York City, but I would still have to deal with Philadelphia. I don't know. I was hoping for an uninterrupted straight shot. But if nothing else, I wanted to at least make it through New York City. There is nowhere to stop in the city, but I think there are a couple truck parking areas just beyond in New Jersey. The only problem would be finding a spot. Places for us to park in the Northeast fill up fast and they fill up early. If you snooze, you lose, as they say. I ran into some traffic just outside Worcester, so I ended up getting my schedule all fucked off. No worries. As day turned to night, my goal stopped being arriving in Westchester tonight and started being me not getting stranded in a dangerous place. I set course for the Vince Lombardi service area, just across the river from New York. It's pretty much the same spot where my 46th birthday had started just a few days before. Hopefully, after I drop this load right on the face of the receiver, I can get out of the Northeast. I wouldn't mind going back down south or to the Midwest as we look at this shot of New York City at midnight. I was crossing the George Washington Bridge into Jersey and took this shot of all the downtown lights. Hopefully, this will be my last time seeing it for a while. But now my goal was finding a spot and getting some sleep. I ran my clock down all the way to the final minutes in the last few days. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Maine. Anyway, we got a spot and got some sleep. When you're spending the night in the murder capital of the United States, make sure that you lock your doors and sleep with one eye open. You can't trust these Yankees. They will use the best parts of you against yourself just to steal your wallet. Trust me, bro. Waking up in the shadow of the Big Apple was a bit disconcerting. It was dark when I pulled in here and parked illegally. But now the light and space of the lot really put the zap on my head. And when I say parked illegally, I just wasn't in a lined spot. There were all kind of rules posted at the entrance. But fuck it, man, it's New Jersey. There are no rules here. It's like Mad Max, but not Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. But we had to haul ass to Westchester because we had lost good time with all that construction in Connecticut. You can see the New York City skyline there in the background. It looks totally different in the daytime. I'm sure if we were there, we could smell the urine. I heard somewhere once that in downtown New York, it reeks of urine when the sun comes out. You know, from all the homeless people pissing everywhere since the founding of the city, I had been under the impression that this drop was supposed to be a simple drop and hook, but it turned out to be a live unload. While I was waiting for those ass clowns to empty my trailer, I noticed that according to Apple Maps, I was 6.1 miles from Bam Margera's house. What you gonna do now, punk? I'm right here in your hometown and I'm calling your ass out right here and right now. I was looking around everywhere for purple Lamborghinis, but then it occurred to me that he probably doesn't own it anymore. He probably sold it for a big-ass crack rock. I mean, I believe we're like the same age, so a couple of middle-aged guys fighting would be kinda sad. Don't misunderstand me. I'd beat the dog shit out of his punk ass. But it would be a bowling shoe ugly bout that would have customers calling their cable company demanding a refund. But if like the 1999 version of BDC took on the 1999 version of Bam Margera, that would be money. I mean, without any experience, I could promote the shit out of that. But naturally, he didn't answer my calling him out. That's because when BDC is in the house, Bam is hiding at his house, biting his fingernails and trembling with fear. He don't want none of this. But I was just talking about the 1999 version of BDC, and I've just been informed that we have some pictures of me from back then. Let's bring those up if we can. Yo, monkeys in the truck, let's get those photos up. Would you look at that dude? What a specimen. An absolute unit. What the hell happened to that guy? All he did was party and get laid. He had his whole life in front of him. Now he's driving a truck and talking to about 30 subscribers on the World Wide Web. Did I say unit? I meant what an absolute tool. That was so long ago, I barely even remember those days. I remember that laundry room, though. I slept in there on a couch that didn't look comfortable, but it really was. But in all seriousness, all my shit talking about Bam Margera came back to bite me in the ass. The Pennsylvania curse. After I was unloaded, I got dispatched, but I couldn't pick it up until the next morning. I tried to get to a safe place to shut down for the night. For some reason, the fucking GPS took me right through downtown Philadelphia. I was stressed out at first, but I needed the practice. It was also rush hour, so there were people everywhere. Narrow one-way streets with cars parked along both curbs. It was seriously fucked up. And when I say through downtown, I mean right through downtown. Like right up the main drag. I was thinking that there was no way I would get through this without smacking into something or taking off the side mirror of a Tesla. It didn't help that these people drive like a bunch of football bats. It took me forever to get through that and over to the King of Prussia service area. Yes, you heard that correctly. The same service area from last week. It was the only place I knew for sure where it was. The good thing is that this next load picks up here and will take me back to Ohio. Thank God. The Northeast got me screaming, crying, pissing, shitting. Shooting ropes.